Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in Geistal, Austria. It's the middle part of September and I'm just checking on my cows before I do anything else. It seems like, yeah, food is running pretty low. There is still quite a big meadow, so I'm not too worried if they don't come through too much. But let's check what's going on with the beautiful animals. Okay, nothing much here. Let's see if we can buy... Ooh, look at this! A bull! 13 months. Very high, very good. Extremely high. Perfect. And well, welcome to the farm. And you are 20 months old. Sure if he's pregnant. Doesn't... Okay, let's buy both of them. 4,000 down the drain. Well, not really down the drain, but in the barn. Yeah, beautiful. Alright, so we got 17 animals here in the barn, and we got 11, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 10, up at the meadow. And today's the day where when I start doing cultivation on the fields. As I've promised previously, I have already prepared the setup. So we have the beautiful Rigitrack, the most abused tractor on the farm. But hey, you can't expect that you're gonna live in Highlands and simply not suffer. If you're a tractor, of course. Yeah, we still got plenty of lime. It would be extremely nice if we could get some kind of not technically yeah, a silo where we could have that stored, and it would take a lot less time to load up and I wouldn't have to switch vehicles and all that jazz. Ooh. Wild animals. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that we could get some kind of a silo. I'm not too fussed about it. Oh, and I did want to check when the best price is to start selling the winter wheat and canola, and also the clover and alfalfa hay. So before we start doing work in the fields, I do want to have a quick check, quick look at the calendar and last year's price movements. Alright, I'm gonna start from the top and work my way down the field, because I don't want to have too much strain on the engine. But as I said, let's go check the prices. Why don't we? Prices are gonna be over here, and we can see canola has the highest price in November. Alright, good to know. And the prices are closing, not there yet. And straw, we ain't gonna sell that. Winter wheat has the best price in the middle of December. Alright. What else? Clover, silage, no. Dry clover has the best price in December, and alfalfa in January. Alright. So November is the time I already forgot. I think it was canola. Yep. Gotta make a mental note about that. Okay, let's see how fast we can go without doing the engine in. Yeah, it's very nicely putting the lime that we put on the fields into the soil, mixing it all up. So this is gonna be a very good field for the next year. Which I am not sure we're gonna be together watching the harvest, because sooner or later Dad's gonna take over the farm again, and I'm gonna be on my way. See how fast we can actually go. 14, 15. Oh, okay, 15 is the limit. Some implements you want to go fast, and for some implements you want to go very slow, and this one is one of those with which you can go fairly fast. So let's see how it behaves the other way around. Okay, the engine is getting strained a bit, so let's throttle it down. Too much abuse on the machines is gonna cost you in the long run, because you're gonna be in the workshop a lot fixing all kinds of noises, finding all kinds of stuff broken. It's really not worth those extra 2 kilometers an hour. That's what, 1 point and tiny bit of a mile. There was one comment, like, I can't remember from who and when, but someone from America, from the US, was visiting Europe, and he got fined, or she, I can't remember, for going 3 kilometers over the speed limit, and that was like 2 miles over, not even 2. And they were just laughing, like, what kind of a tolerance do you have in US? So how much miles over you can go the speed limit without getting any kind of a ticket, or maybe just a slap on the wrist? I really do wonder. Or is it just based on the cop that clocks you? What kind of assistant do you have? I'm not really familiar with that. Because in Europe it's like you got, for example, you got 50 kilometers an hour speed limit. That's, I think, just over, or maybe a bit under 30 miles an hour. And where I live, most of the time you do have to maintain that speed in a bracket of 3 kilometers an hour, so that's 2 miles over. No, excuse me, you have to maintain the correct speed limit, yeah. But because they do allow for the measurement tolerance mistake, which means that maybe the measuring equipment could be wrong for a tiny amount of speed, and usually your speedometer is showing just a little bit higher speed than you're actually traveling at. And that means that you can go up to 5 kilometers over the speed limit on your speedometer, and you'll be fine. So that's I think 2.5 service. Let me check something. Oh, it's a service interval. Huh. Well, shoot. I ain't doing service right this moment. All right, well, we're gonna put it in the workshop when we come back from the last field. We're gonna be probably half an hour over. That's like 20%. That's a lot. Actually, probably not. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna finish this field and I'm gonna go straight into workshop because I have learned my lesson that if you wait too long, the equipment starts breaking down, and then you don't only pay for the service, but you also have to pay for the broken parts. Now, why do the broken parts happen when you wait with your service interval or go over it? The equipment is designed to do a certain amount of work before it needs to be maintained, and one of those things is you gotta change the oils, the hydraulic fluid, you gotta change the filters, and that's basically your regular service. But if you don't do that, the oil can get dirty, and it can start messing up your engine or maybe your transmission, and then you gotta do another type of service where when you change maybe piston rings or ignition starts going bad or anything like that. But yeah, if you don't really hold your service interval. So yeah, and that's also important for vehicles like your personal car. I know a lot of people don't follow the regular service, but it's interesting, you know, when you have something that was made in Germany, German engineers expect you without a doubt that you're gonna follow all of the service instructions, the periods, everything to the letter. And if you do, usually your machine is unbreakable. It simply doesn't stop. But if you don't maintain it as it's supposed to be maintained, you are risking a catastrophic failure. For example, the French manufacturers, I've heard a bit of a different story because you can kind of sort of do the things and the car will still keep running, and it's not so indestructible when it's new. So this is what I've heard. Missing some chunks. It's kind of funny to look at, you know, how certain nations are, what their values are, and how it reflects in the actual machine that you're using. Alright, yeah, this is going pretty quickly, pretty fast. And look at that, somebody didn't harvest their wheat or whatever that crop was. But man, oh man, is the rigid track cool. You can do maneuvers like this and don't even break a sweat. And since it's gonna get a lot of work, because I'm also gonna use it to start putting the catch crops in the ground, I do have to make sure that it's serviced correctly, because after all it is Swiss manufacturers, and Swiss are known by precision. We got good watches from them, we got the smart car. Anybody familiar with that? It was a collaboration between Mercedes and, is it Casio? I forgot the name of the watch brand that actually was in collaboration with Mercedes when they built the smart car. But yeah, it's a cool project. Whatever you want to say. So yeah, and since Swiss are known by their precision, I gotta predict that the machines are also gonna be made in such a way that they're gonna have to be precisely maintained with the correct parts. So I better go with original equipment manufacturer parts. Alright, let's fix the borders, headlands. Alright, well, I don't think this could have gone any better. I think there are 3 spots that I missed in there, but nah, it's fine. In the service bay for you. Okay, excuse me. Thank you for your patience. Alright, well, before I put it in the workshop, I do want to wash it, because I don't want any mud, and I want to have a clean engine that I can work with, especially when you're changing filters and stuff like that and draining oil. You want to have as little dirt as possible so it doesn't get trapped back in the engine, because the service would be completely pointless by then. Alright, so it seems like we went around 2% over the allotted time. Let's make sure everything is nice and clean. I don't remember ever washing the cultivator. Yeah, I know. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay, and let's drop front weight so we don't carry all that weight. And let's get busy. Let's see how much it is gonna cost. And let's go there. Maintenance 940 original equipment manufacturers, and it's gonna take until 4 p.m. Alrighty then. I'll see you then. Alrighty, well, the maintenance was completed, no issues detected. So we are allowed to go back on the fields. We have another 5-hour window of use before we need to do another service. So it might just be that we're doing another service before the New Year's Eve. Right, in any case, I'm gonna do this next part in the form of a time-lapse. Because you have seen what I do, and I don't want the episode going for too long. To give you a bit of an intermezzo, it started getting muddy because of the rain, and I did have to turn on the diff locks on both front and rear. You can see it at the bottom right, next to the handbrake symbol. And you can see if I turn it off, it's green, the diff locks, and with this they're red, which means they are engaged. I do have to be careful because diff locks engaged and sharp turns are not really compatible. But I had too much wheel slip without the diff locks, so yeah, it's kind of a must. I usually don't have it turned on, but if the wheels are turning, it can be dangerous for the tractor because it can turn your gearing system into mush. You know, one wheel slips and another one doesn't, so that's a lot of pressure on the differential. And when you have four-wheel drive and possibly three wheels are doing something and one wheel is doing something else, it just might be a way to catastrophic failure. Yeah, but otherwise everything is going according to plan. We got nothing really to report. So let's carry on. My wayward son, you'll be thin when you are done. It's time to turn on some lights. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark and it's raining pretty heavy. So because it's gonna be a fairly bad visibility, I will do the remaining canola field off screen. You have seen plenty of cultivation work, so you won't miss anything. But if something interesting happens, nevertheless, I will turn the camera back on. This lake looks so inviting all the time. In the middle of winter, in the middle of summer, in spring, in fall, all the time. It's like that emerald green color. Yeah, I'd love to have a house near that lake, but sadly it's forbidden to build anything on the shoreline. But on the other hand, I guess it's a good rule, because, you know, otherwise nature would become inaccessible. And if we can avoid that as a society, I think that's always a plus. Yeah, this ridge really makes it so easy to turn around and cover the whole field. It's a lot faster. If we'd be doing this with the old Fendt, we would be turning and turning and turning and turning. because the steering angle on that piece of kit was very bad. I guess for the age it was good, but for nowadays, what modern tractors can do, not only Rigitrack and Lintrack and Lindner that have four-wheel steering, but I think the JCB also has one. Okay, so let's turn off the flux. Let's put on road lights, beacons, and we're gonna go to the last field. So this is gonna be it for today. Thank you all for watching, and join me next time where we will be putting some cover crop for the first time in the ground, and we do have to move all the animals from the pasture and back into the barn, because we do have a few births incoming and I want to have all the cows nice and safe, so when the calving season arrives we're gonna be mostly at home. The other thing is, I am excited to see how much milk we're gonna be getting now, because the 4 cows that gave us some milk were the 5. Yeah, they are drying up a bit, which is completely normal, but we're gonna have a few cows and I think a few of them have very high milk production. So I am looking forward to it, and yeah, you are welcome to join me next time where we will start seeing the results of our work together. So yeah, thank you again for watching, hope you had fun, and see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.